Greetings, Cleveland. This is Hollywood Kids, the show that spotlights some of Cleveland's most talented and gifted kids. Kids who dream, kids who soar, kids who one day could make that journey from Cleveland to Hollywood. I'm your host, Cornell Calhoun III, and my guests today are the twins, Genice and Geniah Manning. Twins, welcome to Hollywood Kids.
Glad to be here.
Thank you, my pleasure. So, who was born first? Let's have some twin talk first. Who was born first?
I was.
And what time? Do you know what time you were born?
No, I was born a minute before her.
A minute before her? So
Yes.
you're a minute older than she is?
Yes.
Okay. So, tell me something. You tell me something about your twin.
She's very kept to herself, but she could be very outgoing. She explores a lot, and she a good person to talk with whenever you need somebody to talk to.
Okay. Now tell me something about your twin.
Janice is very funny, outgoing, and energetic when she want to be.
Who she want to be. Okay, so what school do you ladies attend?
St. Martin de Porres.
And you're going to the 10th grade?
Yes.
And what do you like? Okay, so Geniah, what do you like most about St. Martin de Porres?
The corporate work study program and theology class.
Okay, and where are you working?
Metro Hospital.
Okay, and what about you, Genice?
I really like the corporate work study as well, and I like the support and the outreach with the teachers and the extracurriculars. And I work at TV20.
You work at TV20?
Yeah.
Oh, you work right here. Okay, so how did you ladies get into performing?
My mother connected us with you. Yeah. And we did 2 films and 1 play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 2 films and 1 play, and ever since then we just kept going. Mm-hmm.
And what do you enjoy about performing?
I really like being a new person and new personality, new vocabulary, and meeting other people to work with. Yeah.
And what about you, Tuna?
I say the same, and also like doing new activities and new things and learning new stuff about other people and new sights to see.
And how do you ladies go about learning your lines? So what's the process? I mean, do you work together? The advantage of having someone in the same, having the same interests that you have, you can actually learn your lines together. Like, generally when I started learning lines, it was just me. So I had to invent ways and find other ways to learn my lines. What about you guys? Do you guys work together learning lines, or do you work separately, or both?
We usually work together, or I'll text her, come in my room so we could practice, or we'll practice in the car with my mom, or in the kitchen, or while we eating dinner. Yeah. Or on the phone if we don't feel like being in each other's presence.
So how much do you watch TV?
Not often. I don't really watch TV. I usually watch TikTok more than I watch TV. Yeah, TikTok or Netflix.
On Netflix, okay. So are there any performers that you like, that you would, you emulate yourself after?
Not really at the moment, because I'm not really big into TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I do like Chicago PD. I love that show. And Chicago Med. I like Grey's Anatomy.
Why do you like Grey's Anatomy?
Because you can learn stuff about what the doctors be doing and how they work in a hospital and stuff. Like how the hospital work and how doctors do what they do.
Okay, so what do you ladies do when you're not performing? Since it seems like you don't watch TV, you audition, you get a part, and then you do the play. But what else do you do when you're not performing on stage or in film?
We usually go out to eat or ride bikes. Yeah. We usually do that, or go to see family when needed. Just family oriented. Watch TV in the living room when we are watching TV.
And what about you, Twin?
I'll probably be asleep or just eat it.
You be asleep. Okay. So when you go bike riding, where do you go specifically? I mean, is there somewhere you go that you enjoy, or you just go?
We usually ride to Wedover Wednesdays, or we ride in Peninsula and Akron, or we ride to downtown on Food Truck Fridays and eat and then ride back home.
Okay, so now tell us, Twin, you wrote a play last season. Tell us a little bit about that play.
During my play, I wrote it here at TV20 with Mr. Calhoun. And it was on how you should listen to your parent. The title was Listen with 3 dots after it. So, yeah. And
so you're looking forward to seeing that produced?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can make that happen. All right. So let's take a look at the twins in a Gloria Pointer story, A Celebration of Life.
Right out of the pot. Maybe one before school. Every day from junior high. The Bulldogs are here, and we have no fear. Nothing can stop us because this is our year. The Bulldogs are here, and blue, red, and white. We can't be beat, so prepare for a fight. I love the cheer. I love being a cheerleader. Cheerleader made me smile. I love cheering, and I love my brother and sister. They have so much personality and so much love to give. And I don't have a favorite color because I love all the colors of the rainbow.
And Christmas, even though we didn't have much money for gifts to put under the tree,
we were still blessed and loved.
times are hard, real hard sometimes. It was soft walking on the back.
You wanted so much to give us everything.
Like I did her, even Lily was saying, "Hey Mom, it's Mother's Day. I wrote you a poem." Roses are red, violets are blue. You are my mother, and I love you forever and always, Mom. Gloria was always loving, caring, dedicated, funny, kind, and compassionate. We called her Missy.
Great job. So now I want each of you to tell me what you remember from that performance.
I remember that it was our first time doing a live performance, which was kind of nerve-wracking, but I really enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. We had a good time. We had a really good time.
Yeah, I had a good time. It was like a couple mess-ups, but I still pushed through. Yeah, it was fun, and it was great time bonded with.
And tell us a little bit about what the Celebration of Life play was about, if you remember.
It was about Miss Pointer's daughter being killed, so we did a live performance on it.
And do you remember where that performance was? Channel 3.
Yeah, Channel 3. I was trying to think of what it was. I knew it had a 3 in it.
And so do you think if your mother hadn't hooked you up with me, you would have found that artistic abilities that you both have?
Honestly, no.
I'd probably say no.
Why?
Because you put us through a good time, a good experience, and new learning experiences. If we didn't met you, we would have never had none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you have a dream character? Is there anyone that you would like to portray in a film or a play?
I really like Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, Tiffany Haddish.
So you just like everything she likes, huh?
No.
And why is that? Why do you like her?
She's really funny, and she seemed like she have a great personality in front of the camera and behind the camera.
I say the same thing, Janice. And she also was like a great inspirational person to look up to. Like, she has, what was it? Oh, I forgot.
And what did you view her in? I mean, name something. You remember something that you saw her in?
I watched her in The Darndest Things That Kids Say. I believe that's what it's called.
Okay.
That show was really interesting.
Okay. And so, what do you hope to gain in the future from your being in plays and being in films? I mean, what are your future aspirations, let's say?
To gain more recognition and more opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities and more chances to do stuff.
And tell us a little bit about the first film that you did.
The first film that we did.
Yeah, the Silent Story, right.
We did that downtown by the free stamp. It wasn't bad. That was a good time as well. We was in middle school or leaving middle school. So we was still young, but I remember it like it was yesterday. We had a good time.
And then, can you remember what the film was about? The short film was about quickly?
It was about
how some girl shooted a homeless man that we stepped up and helped them.
Y'all stepped up and helped him.
We didn't step up and help him. Ali stepped up and helped him.
All right. Let's take a look at the first film of the twins, A Silent Story. Right. So who was the homeless man in that film?
You.
Yeah, I was. So what do you remember about doing that?
It was hot out there, but it was a good time. No complaints. We went over it a few times. We changed a little bit of things, but it came out all good and a good outcome.
Actually, I thought you guys did a phenomenal job for the first time.
Yeah, after
you ducked me for like 2 or 3 months, so you came out and you did a great job. You and Logan and Simone and Ali, and actually Ali's mother was in that film too. So that's wonderful. Now, you had an opportunity to attend, at least you, Janice, had an opportunity to attend the Cleveland International Film Festival because Geniah was in school. And tell us something about that, because you did a great job. You talked to the audience. That was for the award-winning film, So Here We Are. Tell us a little bit about that.
I had a good time with that as well. It was a lot of people in the crowd, but I did push through. I don't think I did bad. I was just a little nervous, but I knocked the nervousness off once I got used to the second day. But it was a good time. I enjoyed talking with the crowd. And
do you remember anything about that film that you would like to share with the audience?
The So Here We Are film?
Yes, So Here We Are.
It was hot that day too. It was a good day. We ended off pretty good. We ended off well, actually. We started well and ended well.
You started well, ended well. What about you, Twin?
I actually liked it. It was very different and interesting and very interactive. I really liked that. I hope we could do it.
Yeah, maybe we will. That film actually was presented in Los Angeles, in Atlanta, in Toronto, in Boston, as well as Cleveland. So you ladies deserve some applause. So let's take a look at the award-winning film, So Here We Are. So here we are, here we are, here we are. So here we are, here we are, here we are.
Stop playing the violin. Dang.
They hard. I'm trying to give y'all a summer interlude.
Well, you're giving us a summer migraine.
Please, it's too hot out here.
What? Fine by me.
So here we are.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, annoying.
Nothing's changed here on 114th Street.
No personality, no class.
Beat it, Fidget.
Hey, let's go put on our little swimsuits, go down to the recreation center, mesmerize the boys, then jump in the pool.
You mean jump into concrete? They drained the pool last Friday.
Repairs are going to take at least a month, Bill said.
You're late on intel. Then let's just put on our little swimsuits and mesmerize the boys. What's wrong with her?
Look at Mr. Beeman working on his house.
He stayed working in that yard too.
As hot as it is out here.
Ain't no thin either.
What?
He ain't got no life.
It look like we don't have a life either, do we? What? What?
I love that film. So tell me, what's the difference in film and theater for you ladies? What's the difference? Do you like performing in front of a live audience, or would you rather do film?
I enjoy both, but I would prefer film. And with live performances, you have to get everything down packed. Remember, with film, if you mess up, you can redo it, but you can't redo it 1,000 times. At least 2, and that's it. That's it.
And what about you, twin?
Theater, it's okay, I like it, but film is better because you can redo it and you can keep going if you mess up or something like that. But theater, you gotta get it down packed in.
And what strengths do you think you need to be a good performer?
Courage.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's a good one.
Integrity. And perseverance.
Why courage?
Because you got to be confident in yourself before you just put yourself out there. And then if you're not confident with yourself, then you won't be confident with the outcome.
And what about you, twin? Don't tell me what she said.
I would say integrity, perseverance, and that's it. Literally.
Are you nervous? Would you say you're nervous before you go on stage or before you perform in front of the camera?
I'm more nervous before on stage more than I am in front of a camera. In front of a camera, it's really not that nerve-wracking. But in front of the stage, it's a different story.
Okay, and what about you, twin?
The stage is very nerve-wracking. The camera is it's just there. You just look at it, just pick your words, and then you just get done.
Okay. So earlier, you came into the studio and you performed a poem for me called Twins. Tell us a little bit about the poem.
The poem is very touching. It does describe us and our mother. So it's a very good poem. A really good poem.
And don't you tell me what she said.
Yeah, it's very touching, and I feel like it was very easy to remember and say the lines.
Okay. So let's take a look at the twins performing the poem Twins.
Simply magical, 2 of us, twins, miracles in pairs, born together on June 15th. Not just sisters, but best friends, yet still one of a kind. From the same beat of our mother's hearts. 2 to hug, 2 to kiss, 2 to love. A constant comparison, a constant comparing. Living 2 lives, yours and hers. She is how I define my life.
How I define myself.
She is as necessary as breathing. Dancing to each other's joy, drowning in each other's despair, flying through each other's hearts. Like 2 distant stars in a blue night sky. Some shining brighter than others. but through a single telescope they shine, shining the same, like the two of us, twins.
Okay, that is very touching. Good job. Okay, so tell us what you plan to do in the future. What's next for the twins?
Right now I'm working on painting and making bracelets. I still got time to think about my future, so I'm still working on that.
Okay, so you actually make bracelets and for men and women. Tell us a little bit about that.
It started as a hobby, and then I went with my sister, Michelle, to a meeting, and I met a lady who put me into entrepreneur
Okay.
program.
And so what type of bracelets do you make?
Beaded jewelry.
Is that one you have on?
Yeah, these three are.
Oh, that's nice. And you actually sell the?
Yes.
So how do you have a website? I mean, how do you do that?
No, I don't have a website yet because I just started, so I'm still working on that process. But usually I'll post them, and then people will reply and say, "Oh, I want one." I say, "Okay, what do you want?" And then I tell them the price.
Okay. So do you make your twin, your sister, buy from you, or you give? Or you make her buy? Or you make her pay?
She makes me buy.
Okay. All right. And what about you, twin?
I do like necklaces, and I just do necklaces. That's it.
So both of you are like entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what about the theater and film side? What can we expect to see from the twins there?
Another play.
Another play?
Yeah.
And another film with me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming to the studio and sharing your interests and your talent with me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So that's it, Cleveland. We're out. I'm Cornell Calhoun III for Hollywood Kids. And to all the Cleveland youth out there, remember, dream, then soar.